Hi class, I'm going to give you a short, brief introduction to InDesign because that is what you're going to be doing for your first exercise. You're going to be using that template that I have there in Canvas, and when you see the template there, you're going to download it, okay? You're going to download it onto your desktop, and then you are going to open up InDesign. Okay, so let's just look at InDesign for a second. So when I open this up, I can see, different recent possible things that I have worked on, but you need to actually make a decision. So, is it going to be for print? Is it going to be for web? Is it going to be mobile? I'm going to say print because that's what we're actually going to be working with. And here it actually is in picas, but I'm going to switch this to inches. And if you see over here, this is a standard letter size, and this is portrait, and this is landscape. So I wanted portrait, 8.5 by 11. And then I'm going to look over here on this side. So if you see here, it says pages and then facing pages. So this is a standard in InDesign because basically it's setting it up as a booklet. For right now, we're just going to leave it one at facing pages. That's fine. Okay. And also, you can see here it says columns. I usually set up a grid inside of the document, but you can just leave it at one, so it'll just be one. And then for margins, let's just leave it at 5. That's a standard. And then for bleed, what you want to do is have it at 1.25. So that is the bleed outside of the 8.5 by 11. Okay. Slug, we don't need to do anything about that because slug is outside of the bleed, and that would be a place that you would actually write in or actually type in instructions to your printer, but we're not going to be doing that. We don't need to do that, so we're going to ignore that right now. Okay. Also, if I wanted to, change up, if I wanted the bottom or the outside to be a different size here, I could basically, click this off and I would unchain the whole thing together. So this basically means that all of these are going to be the same. Okay, so now I'm just going to hit create, and there you can see the document, right? And if any of you are familiar with Illustrator, which we will be working with, of course, it looks similar. It looks like it's an artboard, okay? But it's actually not. It's a page. It is different than Illustrator, okay? So I'm actually going to go back here, and I am going to add pages to this. So I think I'm going to add one here and then one. Okay, so now I have 4 pages. So do you see what's happening here? This is the first page, and this is on the inside of this page, and then this is next to it, and then this is on the back of this page right here. So this would be a little booklet. So just to repeat this to clarify, this is page 1. The back would be page 2. The next page would be page 3, and the back of page 3 would be 4. Okay. So the other thing that's really important to understand about InDesign is that everything lives in a frame. So if I go over here and click on my type tool, essentially it's in a frame. So this is a frame right here. It is not point text. It is just living in that frame, okay? So if you're familiar with the area type in Illustrator, it works very much the same way. So you can't just click here and get type. You have to drag out this frame, right? And then again, there you will be able to, put your type in, right? Okay. So something that I could do is I could go ahead and I could go up here to type, and I can fill it with placeholder text, and that's going to fill. And then, now I could do some formatting if I wanted to. I could go here and I could open up my character panel, which I don't seem to have open, so I'm going to go to Window, and I'm going to go to, I do have it open, but where the heck is it? Okay, oh, you know what? It is on my other monitor. So I'm working on two monitors, and sometimes, the panels do not come up on just one monitor. They come up on both monitors. It's really kind of nerve-wracking. Anyway, so here I can go in here and I can decide, I don't even know if I want it to be Minion Pro. Maybe I'm going to go in here and I can see all of the fonts that I have on my particular system. I think I'm just going to go with Museo. Let's see, what do I have in Museo? I have a lot. I think I'll go with Museo 900, and then I'm actually going to make that point size larger, and then I'm going to use this right here. I'm going to click on that. I'm still going to go to Museo because I want to use the same family, and we'll be talking about that eventually. Also, you might see here this little square. So what that means is there's actually more type in here, and we'll talk about that later. Okay, so the other thing I also want to just quickly show you is, do you see here in paragraphs? So here's paragraphs, and here there's different formatting. So I could do this as centered line for line, but why would I? It's harder to read centered line for line, although we like to use it sometimes for small amounts of type. This is set flush left, and then this is flush right. We actually don't want to do that in body copy because it is really hard to read. We read from the left to the right. And so this would also be justified type. And whenever you are setting justified type, you want to make sure that you click on this one right here, because do you see this bottom line? This means that this bottom line is going to flush left when you have paragraph breaks. Otherwise, if you set this one, what's going to happen is the program is going to stretch out that last line of characters. Okay, and then there's also an additional little opportunity here, which I'll just give you totally just like a brief about that. And then here is justification, and I will be giving you these different settings when we do get to body copy, but just a heads up. And this is the formula that I have found works really good on most copy and gets rid of holes and rivers. Okay, so that's just kind of a heads up on that. Alrighty. So let's talk about bringing in images. Okay, so there's several different ways to bring in images. What I'm going to do is I am going to bring in my images through a folder that I have saved onto my desktop. And on that desktop, then I'm going to, let's see if I can find it. Here it is. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, bum, bum. Okay, images for demo, and it's right here. So I have this on my desktop just sitting there, and now here I have just 2 images that I just randomly selected off of the Adobe site for this demo. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm just going to bring it in here. And you can see that essentially, oh, whoopsie, where is it? Where the heck did it go? Okay, here it is. Okay, good. So you can see that it's just here, right? It's just sitting here. So if I click on this right now, it's going to basically bring it in at the full size that it is, right? So this is actually not so bad. It's not that gigantic. I think I'm going to go up here. I'm going to make that go away. I'm just going to bring that over here. Okay, then I'm going to drag this up here. Okie doke. So now I have this image and you can see it in here. It's dragged in here. Now, what happens if I size this? Okay, so I clicked on this and I made this smaller. You want to hold down the shift key so it's going to do this proportionately, okay? And when I do this, you can see that I'm only seeing, some of this. Also, what I want to do is I want to take my frame and I want to fit it to this, okay? So there we go. Okay, now something that I can do is I can go up here, and do you see these little opportunities up here? So this is fill frame proportionately, and this will fill it proportionately. Do I have all of the image? I think I do have all of the image. So that is really good there. Okay. I think I don't though. I feel like I don't. Okay, so let me just make sure. I can also fit the content proportionately, okay? So this is actually working better. The proportion of this is working better with the proportion of my frame, right? Okay. So I'm going to take this other image and I'm going to bring that image in here, okay? And instead of just, placing it like that, just dropping it in, I am going to hold the shift key down and drag it, right? And so that is essentially giving me the image. I'm establishing the size of what this is. So another way that I could put this in is I can go over here, and this is the rectangle frame tool, and I can decide, okay, this is going to be the size that I want for the image. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to File. I hope you can see this. I'm going to go up to File, and then I'm going to go to Place. Okay. And now what it's going to do is basically going to open up to wherever I was last, and essentially show me what it is that I had. So now I'm going to actually, where are those other Okay, I think I'll use this. Okay, so I'm going to use this, and then I am going to actually just click open, and that is going to place that into here, right? Into this section, but still it's a really giant image, right? So now I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to fill frame proportionately. So this is filling it proportionately as it sees it, because it's not it's not a landscape, it is a portrait in the shape that it is. So I'm actually not going to be able to get that image to fit in there. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to do something different with the design. I'm going to go back to my rectangle tool, and I'm going to, since I know what that sort of looks like, I am going to get rid of that. And I'm actually going to take this and I'm going to shift this over here. I'm going to get rid of this here. I'm going to bring this back up here and make it a little bit bigger, like so. Okay. Now I'm going to go back up here to File, and I'm going to go to Place, and I'm going to go back to that image. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Let's see, let's see. Okay, here it is. Okay. So that's a little bit better, and I'm going to fit that in there. Okay. So that is working better. Let's see how much I'm missing of it. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, so this is another way in which I can place an image. So you're going to be opening up your template, and these already have frames in them. And this is where you are going to be placing your images, the beautiful photos that you've taken of point, line, and plane. Okay, great. So let's say I want to go ahead. This is what you're going to be doing. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Place. And then I'm going to look and see where the images that I want to put on here, and it's actually desktop. And let's just say I took this photograph, and now I'm going to place that in there. And again, we can see, oh my God, that's gigantic. So if I do it, fit frame into the proportion, there we go. Okay, and then I can also adjust the size of this if I want to, and that's what you're going to do for the rest of these. And then you are going to save this entire document, and you're going to save it as a InDesign file, and then you're also going to save it as a PDF, and that PDF is what you are going to upload to the canvas, okay? And you're going to put the InDesign file and also the PDF into your Google folder. Okay, great.